Hello and welcome to Dover. Um, yeah, this track was absolute chaos last season, so hopefully we don't get another uh, repeat of that. We have made a few changes to the package as well as the grip levels. We have taken away some grip so drivers don't get comfortable full sending and taking it 3 wide on the starts and restarts. But even with the ratings being actually done and me not messing with the ratings and equaling everyone's ratings and turning aggression up, yada yada yada, I believe things should be calmer anyway. But we're about to get started here as we head down the backstretch. Tony Stewart, your Auto Club 500 winner at California, is your pole sitter here tonight. But look at who's on the outside pole here. The 01 of Joe Nemechek. It's been a minute since we've seen him up front here. Let's see what he can do. I don't think we've ever seen him up front. I don't even think he did race last season, but I never saw him up front. But let's see what he can do as we come to the green flag and we are racing here at Dover. Down the backstretch for the first time, heading into 3 and 4. Tony Stewart pulling out ahead, and the 01 immediately fell back. He lost like 5 spots right off the bat there. So Joe Nemechek didn't get the greatest start here, looking to hopefully turn things around, but down the back straightaway for the second time here today, heading into turn 3. Things are a lot more spread out and a lot calmer than they were last season, so far at least. Look at Chris Mack working the bottom here. Some cars prefer the middle, but Chris Mack likes it right down on the bottom. The risk of that is hitting the apron as he gets very sideways there in the middle of 3 wide, and now John Andretti up on the high side about got clipped by Kyle Petty. That would have gotten very bad. One car checking up the entire inside lane. So we still have somewhat pack racing here, but it's not as crazy as it was last season. Thank goodness. Scott Wimmer looks slow, didn't have the momentum. Couldn't get a big enough run off of turn 4. And didn't have much help either. This isn't really a draft track, but you can still use the draft at these speeds to get a good run down the front straightaway. And we've had an incident in 1 and 2, which has brought out the caution. Chris Mack has some left side damage. Wonder what that's all about. Was hoping to bounce back after what happened at Richmond last week, but has found the wall. Oh, what in the world happened there? Okay, well, we're gonna have to look at this a few times. Derek Cope driving down to the bottom. I'm not sure if he doesn't know Chris is there. I mean, yeah, he's on the bottom and he's sliding up just a little bit, but for the most part, for the way like he was angled as he entered the corner, he was holding his line pretty well. He wasn't like drifting up the track at an alarming rate, but I mean, it doesn't even look like he came up that much. He might have slid up a few inches, but man, he was there. And Derek Cope just drove it right down in there. I mean, we're going to go on board with the 86. Look at him. He's got his nose in there all the way down the front stretch. Spotter has to let him know that he is not clear in these situations. I mean, yeah, he wasn't right up alongside his door, but he had the position. He had his nose in there. And they both go up into the outside wall pretty hard as well. tough break for Chris Mack and Derek Cope, but miscommunication there. Just simple as that. And that caused a pretty hard impact for both of those drivers, but man, a tough break. 6 laps in. Chris Mack, man, bad luck strikes pretty quickly with him. He doesn't really make it 25% of the way through without something going extremely wrong. It was nice to see him get that win earlier this season at Riverside, but other than that race, it's pretty much been downhill for him with absolutely terrible luck. See if he can bounce back from that sooner or later here. But Pyrrhus Racing's just not had the best luck ever since that horrible crash with Fred Jones. But I'm going to take a quick break. We'll be right back after this. And we are back. Green flag is back out. Tony Stewart still your leader. Mark Martin right there in second. And Kurt Busch has Kevin Harvick on his inside here, looking underneath him. Look at Ricky Rudd in P5. How about that run for Ricky Rudd here today? And 3 wide further back. Sterling Marlin got a little bit too high on the racetrack. Got up out of the groove. Had no grip up there. Like Walter pretty high up on the groove there as well. Goes back low. It's gonna take a few laps for these guys to get that middle line working, but they're still trying it. It's not stopping them from trying. McMurray trying it here. Doesn't really have a choice. He's got cars on his inside, but still, he's trying it, and he made it work. He got the run off the corner to clear Casey Kane. Kane in the 9 has Ryan Newman and Elliott Sadler going by on his inside, so gonna hope to get back down to the bottom there pretty quickly as well. Young rookie running pretty well here in his first season in the MG Cup Series, just trying to hang on to it and get back down to the bottom. Meanwhile, out in front, here comes Mark Martin and his teammate Kurt Busch to the front. Roush Racing 1-2 here at Dover as they take the lead and second from Tony Stewart. Here comes Kevin Harvick underneath Stewart as well. He goes from first to fourth just like that. Man, he dropped back pretty quickly. So with this package, they still don't pull away too much from each other. It's not, as you see, the pack isn't too separated, but there's a big difference in this year's package from last year's. Oh, big crash on the front straightaway. Huge wreck, collecting multiple cars. Lots of hard impacts. The track almost completely blocked, and Terry Labonte in 2 back-to-back races gets destroyed here in a pileup on a short track. But NASCAR calls a short track. And the caution comes out. You saw Mark Martin winning the race back to the line. And what just happened here? Oh no! He just got dumped by his teammate, Brian Vickers, to the inside of the 5. And they just made contact. I'm not sure if one came up or one came down. We have onboard cameras with both of them because they're Hendrick cars. And we're going to have to take a look at this. I mean, Terry was holding his line. He wasn't running all the way down on the bottom. He acknowledged that Vickers was there. He gave him a line. Vickers kind of tries to squeeze it into a hole that isn't completely open, or like isn't really there. I mean, there's room, but you gotta think about what if like the air, like that's so close, you probably wouldn't even want to make that move. The air would affect you there, and it looks like the second he got his nose in there, he got a little tight and it slid up the racetrack, and they locked bumpers there. They got hooked onto each other, and around went Terry Labonte. Hard hit into the outside wall. Probably the worst possible angle to hit it, right as it was straightening out. And I mean, that was a huge impact into the wall. Ricochets him down the track right into the path of Robby Gordon, who had absolutely nowhere to go. Look at that. Multiple cars sideways. Look like they're drifting off of turn 4 as they see this and they're reacting to it. They go for a hole which closes up. Robby Gordon's there. Higher up on the screen there's Kyle Petty, and I mean the track gets blocked. There's cars wrecking high, cars wrecking low. Nowhere for these guys to go. Here comes John Andretti right into the back of Terry Labonte. Labonte took multiple hard impacts in this wreck. We're going to take another look at it here. Labonte still hasn't climbed out the car yet. Put the window net down, but man, oh, that's a hard impact. That is a really hard hit. And then one more for good measures into this. Oh, that was a terrible, terrible wreck. We're going to go on board with a 5 for this wild accident. We're going to take a look what just happened here. Oh, oh my gosh. That was a lot of huge impacts. That hit from John Andretti sent him right down the racetrack into the inside wall. Pretty hard as well. Let's go on board with Robby Gordon. I mean, he's on the brakes. Let's pull up the speed thing. He's on the brakes. You can see it here. But there's only so much that brakes can do in this situation. They're not going to instantly bring you to a stop. It's going to take you a second to get slowed down. And unfortunately, that wasn't enough time for Robby to get slowed down there. And he spins around, gets hit right in the driver's side door right here by Brendan Gaughan, who had nowhere to go. And then Jeff Burton, nowhere to go as well, gets caught up in it. A hard crash as we're under a red flag condition here to clean all this up. And the race has been completely stopped. But man, if you're just tuning in, a hard wreck. And we're going to watch it once again in full speed. A hard crash. Hang on tight, because this gets ugly. Ugh, man. That was absolutely horrifying to watch. Let's go on board with Scott Riggs. Absolute carnage back there. Chaos behind them. Let's go on board now with the 99 of Jeff Burton, because he had nowhere to go. And we're gonna go back to the outside views now. See what this looked like from this angle. Watch the top right of your screen. Oh, I cannot get over that hit that Terry Labonte just took. And there are cars everywhere on the front straightaway. Track was completely blocked. Red flag is still out here. Oh, we got another angle of it. Watch, right of your screen. Oh. And they kept wrecking. Ricky Craven down in the inside wall there. Just gonna put it in reverse, get it rolling again. There were a couple of cars I didn't even see in that. Just watch from this angle, the fan view. Happened so quickly. Hard wreck. Got a few other things to look at if you're just tuning in. This is why we're under a red flag condition. As Terry Labonte took many hard impacts in that wreck. He did put the window net down, but they did have to assist him to get out of the car. He was climbing out, but obviously he was in pain. Safety workers had to help him climb out, but he did walk to the ambulance. And we'll have an update on his condition. Next race or so, depending on the severity as we go on board with Kyle Petty there. See, Petty immediately checks up, but got down on the apron and around he went. Nowhere for Ricky Craven to go. Let's take another look at this view. And we'll be right back after this. A hard crash at Dover. Brings out the red flag. And we're going to be right back after this. Alright, so welcome back to Dover International. Getting ready to go, or the yellow flag is back out, and we're getting ready to go green next time by. So, clean up. There, the front stretch has been cleaned off, and we're getting ready to go once again. So even with this new package, there's been less wrecks, but man, when wrecks have happened, they have been absolutely brutal. As we just saw right there with Terry Labonte, and he is being checked out in the infield care center. We have a few lap cars pulling up on the inside line, so that might make things more chaotic, but oh man, that was a bad one. Terry Labonte is in the infield care center being checked. And we'll have an update either by the end of this video or next video. Can't really promise you anything at the moment, but we'll have an update later on. So, coming out of turn 4, Mark Martin. Still your race leader here. Kurt Busch in P2. And the green flag is out. We're racing once again here at Dover. Oh boy, let's see how this goes. Now the backstretch for the first time after the red flag, and looks like we're making it through pretty cleanly. We've got 3 wide back here. John Andretti, pretty slow, checks the outside line up. They almost clipped them there, but they avoided doing that. So now looks like we're going to keep things sailing pretty smoothly here. Top 5, or top 2, are breaking away for the rest of the top 5. Brendan Gaughan, a slow lapped car here with some heavy rear end damage. Possibly going to hold some people up here. The caution is back out once again. It looks like Jeremy Mayfield has been involved in an incident. Jeff Gordon's on pit road with front end damage, so let's see what happened here. Oh, shuffling around on the backstretch, and oh, hard hit as Gordon got hooked. He got a little loose there and was hooked right into the inside wall head on by Greg Biffle. He slid across his nose. Wasn't anything intentional. Just kind of got loose and slid across Greg's nose, and then looking for Jeremy Mayfield. Off turn 4, gets clipped down the racetrack, collects Ward Burton, and they go into the inside wall. Not a hard impact for either one of them, but that's a good amount of damage on the left side of them there. So, getting ready to take a quick break. We'll be right back after this. And we're back. We're racing once again here at Dover. And Martin down on the bottom. Absolutely flies away from the rest of the field as they have to deal with the lap traffic that restarted on the inside line. Jimmy Johnson, last week's winner at Richmond. Most winningest driver this season. And your current points leader. Oh, I believe we're under caution once again. But Jeff Burton got pretty sideways back there. Let's see what the caution's out for. Jeremy Mayfield has killed it. What in the world happened here? Okay, watching Jeremy Mayfield, as I believe he is the reason for the caution, because look at the front end of his car. Or, at least, did you see it? Okay. Before it gets clipped. Oh, and comes back up and just destroys Jeremy Mayfield. Oh my goodness, Kevin LePage. What in the world was that? He gets hooked down the racetrack by Kurt Busch. Saves it. And as retaliation, I guess, I'm not sure what he was doing. Looks like he thought he was clear. Comes up. Gets himself turned into the outside wall. Nowhere for Jeremy Mayfield to go. Gets hooked right into the back bumper of Kurt Busch. And that crunched in the rear end of the 97. The front end of the 19 is all torn up. Look at that. Looks like they... Oh my gosh, it looks like a pancake. That thing is flat. Surprised his front tires are even on the ground. So that's, of course, going to bring out the caution. 4 cars into the outside wall. But, Mark Martin, still your leader. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back after this. And we're racing once again. A lot of slow cars restarting in front of the field. And look who's out in front now. That is... Where is he? Here he is. That is the 88 of Dale Jarrett, who won a few races this season. Or last season, excuse me. Raced against his son, Jason, as well. Jason Jarrett didn't return in the series this year. But we know he's watching at home. And they're 3 wide down the backstretch, bouncing off of each other. Ryan Newman right in the middle. Mark Martin was your leader when the caution came out. He fell back during pit stops there, trying to work his way back up through the field. But look at Dale Jarrett go. He's having a great run, and behind him in second, that's the 30 of Johnny Sauter, having a great run. Behind him, Sterling Marlin. Look at Mark Martin at the back bumper of that 40. He's in 4th place already. Started at about mid-pack, and now he's worked his way back up through the field. All over the bumper of the 40. About turned Sterling Marlin there. Marlin slides back up. Didn't clear himself like Kevin LePage did with Kurt Busch on that last caution. Comes up safely and gets back in front of the 6, trying his best to hang on to that position. Martin about turned him to let him know he was there. And he might just do it again here off of turn 2. Here comes Dale Jr. to his inside, down the back straightaway. And look at this, Elliott Sattler, Bobby Labonte up into the mix. All these guys, the battle for 3rd, heating up big time as Mark Martin finally gets down to his inside. A lot of, I wouldn't call them slower cars, but a lot of less competitive cars out in front right now. At least not the strongest cars here today. And the stronger guys battling their way back up through the field. Look at Elliott Sattler in 5th place right now. He's having a great run. Dale Jr. just passed for 3rd, and now he's hunting down Johnny Sauter for P2. Dale Jarrett picking its way through some lap cars, trying to build himself a cushion. Sterling Marlin doesn't have the best car. It seems like something might be wrong with that 40. I'm not sure. It's pretty slow. It's just not up to speed. But the yellow flag is out once again. Ricky Craven has killed it again. He was involved in the first wreck. Looks like, coming off turn 2 and just clears himself on Tony Stewart, and around he goes. Not really the smartest AI move I've seen in this game, but I mean, it's artificial intelligence, what do you expect? Anyways, Dale Jr. is now your leader. Mark Martin, who's led most of the laps here today, right behind them in second, so getting ready to take the green, and the green flag is back out. Let's see how this goes. Not Buckshot Jones. The 09 of Johnny Benson on the bottom doesn't really hold up Junior too much, or excuse me, Mark Martin too much, and the top two are gonna pull away. So they cleared the rest of the lap traffic. The rest of the field are kind of stuck back there. They're going to go 3 wide heading into turn 1. Junior and Martin still going at it. Mark Martin trying to get back to the front. Look at Jimmy Johnson working his way through. Trying to get by Jamie McMurray, who's in 4th. Look at this huge pack of cars. I mean, there are cars everywhere back here. Kind of starting to see why we had so many cautions this early. Oh no, this isn't going to end well. They're 4 wide off of turn 4, and they somehow squeezed together and made it work. I thought for sure that was ending in a wreck. Murray on the high side, as here comes Casey Kane to the low side to get by him. Michael Waltrip switches lanes mid-corner, gets underneath the 42 as well, and now here comes Bobby Labonte. So McMurray just going to get freight trained here. Dale Jr. though, out in front and not looking back, might have a chance to compete for the most laps led thing, but we're gonna have to take a quick break now that we've got a good green flag run going. We'll be right back after this. And we are back here at the Monster Mile. Field is now a little bit spread out. We've got a few battles here and there, a couple cars on pit road, and then here lapped cars with heavy damage just kind of cruising around out there. Some lap traffic here that might affect things. Coming off of turn 2, no. Stays high, out of the way. Now here comes Mark Martin to get by him as well. Martin closing in on the 8, by the way. In case you guys haven't been paying attention to the the distance thing at the top of the screen. Top left, I should say. But yeah, he's closing in big time. So go on board with the 6. Out of turn 2. Oh, that could have been bad. Kevin LePage held up Dale Jr. just a little bit. Mark Martin closing in once again. Got double trouble here. Jeff Gordon makes it pretty easy, stays high. 09 did go down to the bottom in 1 and 2, but stays high in 3 and 4, so Mark Martin's going to get by, and we're approaching the funny lap here. So let's see what driver will lead it. Dale Jr., currently the leader, might end up catching a lap car at the wrong time, but unless that happens soon, looks like he will be the one to lead the funny lap. Junior has now opened up a half-second lead, probably bigger by the time we get to the line this time. Whoa, John Andretti, that's a teammate there, holding up the 8. I knew it was going to happen sooner or later, but luckily he got up out of the way as quickly as he could and didn't cause an issue. But man, that could have been bad. Now on the funny lap, coming down the backstretch. Dale Jr. is going to lead the funny lap. There's no bonus or anything for leading it, but the funny lap is the funny lap. So Dale Jr. leads the funny lap here at Dover, and now we've just got 50 to go, or coming around the 50 to go this time by laps to go here from Dover International here in Dover, Delaware, and we've got about 3 lap cars coming up. This might get a little bit chaotic, but as long as Dale Jr. stays patient and doesn't force anything, he should be fine. Just let him, yep, it's gonna let him drive down in the middle. And he's going to stay low out of turn 2, get the run. Great job on Junior getting by Kevin Harvick there. And go low underneath Jeff Green. But here comes, whoa, contact! Green about drove down the track into him like he wasn't there. And almost made contact. And Mark Martin about did the same thing there as well. Did I just see smoke? Or am I? Nope, I guess I didn't. But that almost ended horribly. Mark Martin, your Atlanta winner from this season. He also won it last season. Talking about the first Atlanta race. He didn't win the second one, but he won. Same race he won earlier this season. He won that one last season as well. So it'll be interesting to see if he can keep that up, as Atlanta later on this season will be run at night, and they are adding safer barriers to the track as well. So a lot of tracks are starting to improve safety now. Next week we'll be at Lowe's Motor Speedway in Charlotte. Not sure why they won't just change the name to just Charlotte, but I guess if they still have to, if they have the sponsorship, they have to keep it that blah blah blah. But I feel like it would be easier to say Charlotte. Definitely not quote unquote foreshadowing right now. But yeah, next week it'll be the Coke 600 at Lowe's Motor Speedway. So that'll be pretty interesting, because they also added safer barriers to the track. Mark Martin being held up by Kyle Petty. Dale Jr. starts to open up a almost 1 second gap over the 6th driver. Jr. being held up by multiple lap cars here. That allows Mark Martin to get to his inside, and he's going to go to the lead from that. Sorry, I spaced out for a few seconds. But it's probably the least exciting way to have a lead change from lap traffic getting in the way, but Dale Jr. is coming right back. Martin drove down to the bottom like he wasn't even there, and he somehow made it work. Very aggressive block by Mark Martin. Martin runs the middle lane this time. He's going to get a better run on corner exit, but Jr. has the shorter way around the corner, and he's going to stay right there on his bumper, using the draft as much as he can. Doesn't have as much of an effect on a small track like this, but with this package you still get a little bit of help from the draft. And now side by side in front of the leaders are 2 lap cars once again here. Junior tried to get underneath the 6, couldn't quite make it work. Now things are heating up. Fortunately, we have to take a quick break. We'll be right back after this. And we are back here at Dover. I know I went a while without doing a commercial break thing. Not really consistent with that. Sorry about that. But kind of slipped my mind for a second. I was interested in seeing when the lap traffic would do exactly what we just saw before the break. But Dale Jr. finally got back by Mark Martin. Looks like Junebug might have the fastest car here today. Martin had a pretty fast car, but Junior was a little bit further back, and once he finally got to the front, he showed how quick that number 8 Budweiser Monte Carlo was. And man, he's absolutely flying around this track here. So we are coming to, what is this, 29 to go, I want to say. Yeah, 29 to go. I had to do math in my head, but 29 laps to go here from Dover, and there will be no more commercial breaks by the end of this thing. But now, side by side in front of your leader, that's going to hold him up big time, because here comes Mark Martin, but he has to check up for the 50. The 0 Ward Burton still in front of your leader. Ward Burton trying to stay on the lead lap. And I believe we might get a caution. There was a car in the dirt on the front straightaway. Not sure who it was. Don't see anyone off pace exactly, but one car did kick up some dust. So that would have been bad if, or not bad. That would have been good for Ward Burton as he tried to hold off Dale Jr. He would have crossed the line before Junior that time, but we didn't get a caution, and it would have been bad for Junior because Mark Martin would have had another shot. We know he's got a good short run car. He's great on the restarts, but in the long runs, Junior is absolutely dominating here as he pulls away from that 6 every time. But lap traffic making it hard for him to build too much of a gap, because here comes Mark Martin right down on the bottom. Junior was stuck behind his teammate, John Andretti. Now they're both stuck side by side down the front straightaway. Martin uses him as a pick, and now here comes Ward Burton. They almost went 3 wide. Had a pretty good long green flag run. As we look at the rest of the field, everyone is still rolling, so should be all good. But Mark Martin, once again, you're a leader. I think this might go down right to the end. Here comes Dale Jr. once again, and he just went high, trying something new. It looks like, or do I see caution lights on? Nope, still green. So looks like he tried something different, and it just didn't work for Junior there. He's gonna try to run him back down, but he lost a lot of ground that time. Fell more than half a second back. Junior is catching the 6 of Mark Martin, but for now, looks like we're clear of lap traffic for a few laps, so it'll be purely on pace. Can Mark Martin hold off the 8 until we get to those lap cars? And when we do, can he use those lap cars to his advantage, or will he catch them at the wrong time? We're about to find out, because look at this. The 4 of Kevin LePage is right there, and oh, looks like we're going to have green flag pit stops before the end of this. We are within 20 to go. We did go a while on this run without anyone coming in, so looks like green flag pit stops are now underway. Dale Jr. heads into the pits, and now here comes Mark Martin down in the pit road, and we'll have to see where he cycles out. It's going to be a matter of who can execute, whose team can execute quicker on pit road and have the perfect pit stop. Every second counts, every half second counts. Dale Jr. out of pit road right now. Mark Martin, meanwhile, just stopped in this box. He's getting service done. Right side tires off, on. Now to the left side. Meanwhile, Dale Jr. is coming out of turn 4 right now. Oh, there's no question. Mark Martin still in this box, I believe. No, he's gone. But Junior just flew right by him. So it's gonna have to hope for a caution at this point. But they're both a lap, not a lap down, but they're both outside of or further down the top 10. Mark Martin's a lap down. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out, but it looks like it played right in the Junior's hands as he passes Sterling Marlin for the lead. I believe Sterling just pitted, right? Or did he not? Goes underneath both. Or is he putting Junior a lap down? Okay, I'm confused. I don't know. No, Sterling Marlin coming down pit road right now. No, he's not. Okay, watching the leaderboard, or scoreboard, leaderboard, one of the two, leaderboard, yeah. Yeah, he is a lap down. Okay, so Junior's a lap down. Marlin still needs to pit. Here comes Mark Martin down the backstretch. He's got a few lap cars to deal with in front of him here. But he's got fresh tires as well. Junior does as well, but he's also got the 40, the leader, right in front of him here. Sterling Marlin just trying to stay out as long as he possibly can, hoping for a caution to save him here. Trap most of these guys a lap down so he can have a chance at either winning or getting a top 10. But it looks like those hopes are going to be dashed as Junior goes by. He gets his lap back. And the 40 crew probably going to call him in this time by, but Mark Martin doing his best to try to run that 8 down, but he is way too fast. Junior's just way too fast for the 6 right now. Martin just needs a caution and a quick restart. But we're getting closer and closer to the point of no return. So even if we do get a caution, it wouldn't matter if it ends up a caution. But look at this. Slow cars, 2 lap cars here in front of Dale Jr. It's going to hold him up big time. He's going to go to the high side as the 50 is pitting. And here comes Mark Martin with a big run out of turn 4. Closing in on that 8. Now that the inside of John Andretti. Oh, Martin checked up there. These lap cars might make all the difference here. Kyle Petty, the last car not to pit, goes down pit road, and now it's just nothing but open space between the 2 leaders here. And then a few cars coming out of pit road right now. Johnny Sauter is 1. But it doesn't look like there's any lap traffic coming up, so it might be Junior's race here. It's too early to call it now. Anything can happen in these last 6 laps, but man, it'll be interesting to see how this goes. I can't think of any way Junior could lose this race. I mean, he's got clean air in front of him for the most part. Mark Martin is about a second behind. He's not really as quick as the 8. But even then, even though he's gaining a little bit because of short run speed versus long run speed, Martin is quick on fresh tires, but this is about a 20 lap run on these tires. It's not gonna last too long. He just needs to hit his marks at this point. So I don't see how Junior loses this race. Mark Martin is catching, but not much. I don't think he's gonna get there until maybe the last lap, but I just don't see it being. I don't see him getting it done. It's down to 0.4 of a second now. Now 2 laps to go here from Dover International Speedway. Dale Earnhardt Jr. just came out of nowhere like an absolute rocket and started dominating this event. Had a few battles with Mark Martin, and he's getting held up by lap traffic as we come to the white flag. This time by one more time around. Here comes Mark Martin. Things are going to get interesting right here in the last lap at Dover. Martin gets checked up by the 09, and that's all she wrote. Dale Earnhardt Jr. into turn 3 for the final time. And out of turn 4, Dale Jr. is going to get another win this season here at Dover. How about that for Junior there? DEI and that whole team. There were a couple of times where it looked like it might have slipped away, but he kept fighting back, and he got the win here at Dover International Speedway, the Monster Mile. And he's going to take the checker flag. So, GG's for him. Up next is the Coke 600 at Lowe's Motor Speedway in Charlotte, North Carolina. Hope you guys are excited for that, because I am. Especially with the new safer barriers being installed and that crazy package we have on the track. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe, and I hope to see you guys next race. Until then, peace.